Continuing to examine the size, strength, and capabilities of the Lithuanian Armed Forces, I think it's finally time to take a deep dive into its Air Force. This relatively small branch of Lithuania's defense forces has changed a little bit in recent years, and will soon change further with the addition of new UH-60M Black Hawk helicopters. So let's just systematically go through each type of aircraft operated by the Lithuanian Air Force, or Karinis Oro Pajėgos for Lithuanian speakers. Starting with the largest aircraft, Lithuania has 3 Alenia C-27J Spartans. In the Lithuanian Air Force, their nicknames are Gediminas, Algirdas, and Vytautas. With a maximum capacity of 50 passengers, Spartans are used to fly troops to international missions and for Lithuanian government VIP flights. More recently, in October 2023, the Lithuanian government deployed the Spartan to airlift citizens out of Israel, taking them to Turkey. And then in January 2024, the aircraft was used to fly to Warsaw to pick up a donated organ for a transplant operation in Vilnius. According to the Lithuania Tribune, the Lithuanian military purchased 3 Spartan aircraft in 2006 from Italy for 75 million euros. The aircraft can be quickly equipped with 36 patient berths, as well as the ability to fly a Humvee all-terrain vehicle or an M113 armored personnel carrier. In 2017, one Spartan tipped over due to a gust of wind while parked at the airbase in Cholet. The incident damaged the propeller, the rear end of the wing, and the body, which made the airplane unfit for flying. Repaired in 2018, the plane's new propeller cost nearly 554,000 euros, and other repairs added to around 140,000 euros. And next on the list are 2 LET L410 turbolit short-range transport aircraft. It's interesting that these 2 aircraft, made in Czechia, were donated to Lithuania in 1992 by Germany. While the planes were built in 1982, they've been modernized with new navigation equipment. These aircraft can fit around 19 people on board and carry soldiers and members of the government. They are also used to patrol Lithuania's coastal territory and train pilots. And then there are now 3 Eurocopter, now Airbus helicopter, AS365N3 Dauphins. These were ordered new in 2013 and are mainly used for search and rescue and environmental monitoring. There are different seating configurations, and so I'm not sure exactly how Lithuania's are set up, but they can fit anywhere from 8 to 12 passengers. And on the topic of helicopters, Lithuania has at least 1 Soviet-era Mi-8, but maybe more. Up until recently, there were 3 of these that were operational. Then it was decided that 2 would be donated to Ukraine in 2023. Now, I originally wanted to say that these helicopters were no longer being used by Lithuania's Air Force. Wikipedia no longer lists them as part of the fleet, but this source is always a little questionable. Some other sources said that they were fully retired too. Another website said that there are still 2, while it's still listed on the official Air Force website as being part of the fleet, although it doesn't list numbers. So I must admit that I'm quite confused about this. However, looking at the Lithuanian Air Force's Instagram account, we can see that an Mi-8 was being used fairly recently in some kind of exercise. So, I guess I can say for sure that it's still being used. And there is at least 1. I do know that when donations to Ukraine are announced, there might be a bit of time between the announcement and the actual donation. So maybe those that are supposed to go to Ukraine are still being used as well. I don't know. If someone out there watching knows the current quantity, do leave it in the comment section. But eventually replacing these choppers will be 4 UH-60M Black Hawks from the United States. The first of these are due in 2025 and the rest in 2026. These will also be used for transport, infantry air support, medical evacuation, as well as search and rescue. Another somewhat recently departed aircraft type is the Aero L-39 Albatros. These were used strictly as trainer jets and not frontline warbirds. The last remaining Lithuanian L-39 suffered an engine failure in 2019 and was then taken out of service in 2021. As I mentioned in a previous video, one had a mid-air collision with a French fighter jet in 2011, and then the Lithuanian government donated an L-39 to Ukraine. The official handover took place recently, in April 2024. And then there's one more manned aircraft used by the Lithuanian military. A single Cessna 172 Skyhawk used by the Lithuanian Special Forces. Media reported that this tiny aircraft was transferred to the Special Forces in or around 2019 from Lithuania's Border Guard Service, where it had served since 2001. Unsurprisingly, details are limited on how the Special Forces uses it, but this thing has just 4 seats, so it definitely wouldn't be transporting too many soldiers. And when it comes to equipment on the ground, the Lithuanian Air Force has an air defense battalion that was established in the year 2000. According to the military's official website, the battalion uses a variety of systems. As far as I understand, there are currently 2 NASAMS systems, as well as the RBS-70, Stinger, and GROM man-portable air defense systems. When it comes to surveillance radars, there's the Sentinel and Giraffe Mark V. 2 more NASAMS are on the way, with deliveries to begin in 2026. It also looks like Lithuania purchased 36 AIM-120C-8 AMRAAM medium-range missiles from the United States, and these can be used with the Norwegian NASAMS system. Most recently, at the beginning of June, it was reported that Lithuania was planning to conclude contracts for the purchase of additional medium and short-range air defense systems this summer. According to LRT, the Minister of Defense said in May that Lithuania was considering the IRIS-T medium-range air defense systems from Germany. Interestingly, in September 2023, Estonia and Latvia signed a major deal for the IRIS-T system. This was yet another example of joint procurement and getting more value by purchasing expensive systems together with another country. At least to me, it seems like Lithuania missed an opportunity to get in on this group deal. Next, I should say that the Lithuanian military uses drones too. One notable drone is the American-made Scan Eagle. According to the Lithuanian military's official website, the Scan Eagle flies at an altitude of up to 6 kilometers, out to a distance of up to 100 kilometers from the launch site, and can stay in the air for about 20 hours. The unmanned aerial vehicle is used for reconnaissance and targeting, and first saw action with Lithuanian forces in Afghanistan. But I'm not quite sure if these aircraft are under the command and control of the Lithuanian Air Force or another branch of the military. And then, finally, we can't talk about Lithuania's Air Force without at least briefly mentioning the Baltic Air Police mission. Now, I do have a full video on this rotating fighter jet force that's worth checking out, but here it's worth knowing that there are a handful of fighter jets stationed at the base at Cholet. This sees 8 to 12 allied fighter jets patrolling the skies over Lithuania. NATO allies take turns and their jets deploy for a few months at a time. At the time of making this video, the most recent deployment is Spain and Portugal with their F-18s and F-16s, respectively. No, they aren't officially part of Lithuania's Air Force, but they do play a role in deterrence and protecting Lithuanian skies. According to the government's official website, the strength of the Lithuanian Air Force is currently some 1,000 professional military servicemen and non-military personnel. The Air Force's headquarters and the Airspace Surveillance and Control Command are located in Kaunas, while the Airspace Control Center is stationed nearby in Karmėlava. There's just one airbase and it's located in Cholet. At the same base are units specializing in Air Force armament and equipment repair. And so that's everything I could find about Lithuania's Air Force and its air defense situation. As you can see, things have changed a little bit in the last few years, with the L-39s and Mi-8s leaving and the Black Hawks due to come soon. With Lithuania being such a small country with a relatively small defense budget, it definitely relies on its allies for policing its skies with combat-capable fighter jets. This makes sense and is also the case for Latvia and Estonia. So what do you think of the Lithuanian Air Force and its equipment and capabilities? Please let me know by leaving a comment down below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Jo, tai čia turim būtent paleidėją, kuri pasakojo, kad faktiškai kelių sekundžių bėgyje galime paleisti iš visų launcherių raketas.